Good morning, good morning. How's everybody? Yay, hi, Bear. Let me fix this. Ta-da! It's a beautiful morning. Fall has finally fallen. It feels really good outside, doesn't it? It's like this nurturing coolness that has come into our lives. I'm seeing more people driving up, and I did turn the mic on a little bit early. Yeah. The Positive Living Center is a non-denominational center where we celebrate new thought, new ideas, other ways of being, the concept of being able to recognize that spirit is within us. And as we recognize that, we know that our lives change because we change our mind. And our mind is just one part of the essence of who we really are. I'm seeing quiet claps in the background. As we start to understand that, we start to understand that we can grow in ways that we could never imagine. And I'm seeing that when we meditate together, when we come together and get quiet, when we have that essence of the peace within ourselves, we can take that out into the world and share it, because we know that it's priceless, it's endless, and we understand that it is for everyone, no matter what belief system. It is for everyone. I watch my cat meditate. I see Andy the dog get really quiet and meditate. I think that we have to remember to remember who we are. Okay? So get yourself comfortable, get all settled, because we're going to meditate. And as we meditate, we let go of any stress, any worry. We let go of the things that no longer serve us. And you allow the energy of your feet on the floor cycle up through the soles of your feet into your body, and you relax. And as you relax, just let go. And let spirit guide your thoughts. Take a nice deep breath in. And know that we are right here, right now, in this moment, filled with love, filled with creativity, your very own magic. As you return to your body, you know that everything is in divine right action. It's all perfect. Everything that we can imagine. We give away the struggle and we watch the world flow. Welcome back. I'd like to welcome anyone that's new. Anybody new that hasn't been here before? Could you please introduce yourselves? I know.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Catherine.
Charles.
And we have relocated from Santa Cruz Mountains to Ucaipa to Oakhurst.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Good have it here.
We're so glad to meet you. Thank you, Lori.
Welcome to the Positive Living Center. In front of you is a little card that has the prayer protection. Anything that you're welcome to take that's a gift if you'd like. And glad you're here. Thank you. This year is about creating a healthy lifestyle. It's about experience and significance and evolving. And as we recognize these words and we maybe redefine them, we start to grow a little bit more. We start to let go of old belief systems. I'd like to ask Lori B. Ballard, you're going to be playing some music for us today?
It always seems like this is too early to start.
Well, you can sit there. John can come up.
I think we're ready. John?
We are so ready for you guys.
Well, we maybe need to start with the most rambunctious song.
Yeah, wake 'em
I
up.
say we start with This Little Light of Mine. D as in dog, opposite dog. I am trying to ward off some bad energy that has just been surrounding me today. But it's getting better. It's getting better, especially looking out at all of your faces. Ones that I know, ones that I just met. And I think I know just about everybody here. I don't know your name, though. I showed my socks to you, so I think I should get your name.
Yeah, we used to sell real estate together years ago, so I'll let you think on it.
No, I don't remember. Okay, what are your initials?
Then or now?
Maybe then.
JS.
Jackie.
Write letters, J.
Okay. I'll have to think about that. Right. London Properties, another company, C21.
Now, Lori B. Ballard, are you sticking with the name of
The All-Star Band?
the All-Star Band?
Yeah, this is actually, somebody forgot to put it in there because somebody forgot to remind them to put it in there. This is Lori B's All-Star Band with Bear on bass and John Stanley on the harmonica. All right.
light of mine. Well, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Well, I got the light of grace, and I'm gonna let it shine on baby. Now I've got the light of grace, and I'm gonna let it shine. I've got the light of grace, and I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Johnny, keep the light of her body. Well, we've got the light of love, and we're gonna let it shine. We've got the light of love, and we're gonna let it shine. We've got the light of love, and we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, shine, let it shine. Come on, let's start clapping. Well, all around the world, we're gonna let it shine, oh baby, all around the world, we're gonna let it shine, all around the world, we're gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everybody now! Well, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, oh baby, it's that light of mine. Now I'm gonna let it shine, this little light of mine. Well, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, shine, let it shine. One more time, louder. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Can you feel it?
I think I'm seeing stars.
There, you are the star.
D, E, F, G, up 4. Okay. E, F, G, 4.
Us guys,
Oh my goodness. We are having music lessons right now. Are you with it?
less is better.
What's that?
You sing really well. He's got a good voice.
Are we all good? Okay. We're going to move on to our spiritual thought. And that is John Lalonde. Give John Lalonde a nice big hand. Woo, John. We are so glad you're back from your vacation. 'Cause
Well.
you were missing all this.
Yes, I know.
Let me
Gosh.
make sure you got it. Okay, that's perfect for you.
All right, good. Well, good morning. Gosh.
Good morning.
The all-stars in the house. My goodness. Well, my job is to give a spiritual thought. We have two new people. Spiritual thought is just a 5-minute little talk. We then will have a minister talk that will be a longer, more in-depth thing. But I am going to really try to avoid the lead balloon effect after that kind of rousing music right there. So thanks, all stars. And nice to see you, Bear. I did notice that there was a ukulele up here that had too few strings, and I thought, wow, is Bear here? So, but I want to start just reminding the themes for the month are experience, evolving, and significance. And I'm going to just say a few things about each of them. So I want to start with Reverend Joe. A few weeks ago talked about wanting, when he was younger, to have a spiritual experience of God. And it reminded me of when I was in high school. I was very involved in the Catholic Church, going to teen things. We had a downtown Detroit sister parish. We had a multicultural, multiracial kind of experience. I was really into it. I was an altar boy. And I recall wanting to know God was the way I was thinking of it at the time. And this teen group, there was a number of people. And I recall that we were invited to go to a Jesus Freak meeting. This was the late 60s. Jesus Freaks were, looking like Jesus, and just reflecting as I was thinking about this on Reverend Bob's talk last week about how Jesus kind of is portrayed in the culture and racial identity of the people who are talking about it. So this Jesus freak looked like Jesus. He was white, he had long hair, he wore sandals. It was, that kind of an experience. But he talked about a spiritual experience he had where he was the Lord knocked him off his chair. And I was really impressed by that. I hadn't been to that kind of service prior to that. And I thought, boy, if the Lord knocked me off my chair, I could find myself being a believer. So I just want to, that's in way of introduction of, I've not been knocked off my chair that I actually recall. But my spiritual evolution has been profound and much more subtle. So this first theme that I'm talking about is experience. And I want to just start by just talking about an author that has talked about experience, and that is Anita Moorjani. And she's an author. She's written a few books, including the book that we're using in Reverend LJ's class right now, Dying to Be Me. And she was kind of quoted and excerpted in a Science of Mind monthly magazine, talking about and giving an example of the value of experience in our own spiritual development, or in our own development. She was actually talking about the development of empathy in children. And what she talked about is if a child spent a week in a wheelchair, doing everything that a person in a wheelchair does, like all their daily self-care things like dressing themselves, getting into bed, getting into a car, going to school, those kind of things, they have the experience of what a paraplegic person goes through. So when they meet a person in a wheelchair later, at some point in their life, they'll have a deeper kind of understanding and an empathy, was the focus of this example of hers, as to what that person goes through. So this kind of experience deepens it. It makes it something that they can bring with them throughout their life to be able to connect to other people. So experience being the theme, Ernest Holmes says that the experience of the presence of God or divine spirit is important in our spiritual development, because without the experience, it's left as a mental construct. It's an idea. And an idea has no real value, Holmes says, until it becomes an experience, and that we can only know that which we experience. We can't know God until we sense God within. We have that experience of God within. And Holmes says that knowing God within is the most healing agent that there is. And so I would just say that experience the divine within as the source of all that is as us is probably more convincing than being knocked off a chair. More convincing and maybe long-lasting than being knocked off a chair. So I want to talk some about evolving, and just a few thoughts on that. We've had a number of good talks on evolving already this month, and if you hadn't realized, October is a 5-Sunday month, so we're going to have a few more, including Joe, very, very soon. So for me, spiritual evolving is the ongoing unfolding of my understanding, my acceptance, and my practice, staying in touch with spirit within. That Joseph Murphy, in his book, How to Use the Laws of Mind, talks about that your subconscious mind is the seat of habit. And as we continue thinking God-like thoughts, those God-like thoughts, getting in touch with spirit within, will form a good habit, and wonders will happen in our life. I just love that phrasing, wonders will happen in our life. I think we all still want wonders in our life and experience wonders in our life. In Joseph Murphy's practice, he would not only give a spiritual mind treatment or a mental treatment, he would kind of prescribe to the person a prayer that they could then take and repeat to themselves, whenever necessary or whenever they want to, and kind of like a prescription. And that prayer was designed to bring them into alignment with the spirit within. And I especially like the prayer that he gave to a failing businessman in a bitter divorce. His book is divided into little descriptions of the people he's treating, but this was a failing businessman in a bitter divorce. God's love fills my soul, was the prayer that he gave, a one sentence prayer that I find very, I like it a lot. It's simple enough that I can remember it, and it works. It brings me down. I know deeply at that point that the nature of God is love, and that I am that nature. And I can then take comfort there and find direction there. So it just helps bring me home to just say that one little phrase from this book. So in this prayer, God's love fills my soul, there's the word fills. And that word fills is one of those words of certainty that means full. It doesn't mean half full, it doesn't mean sometimes full, maybe a little bit, or it means full, always full. God's love is always full in my soul. And so that is a really helpful thing for me. Joseph Murphy calls that the law of substitution, where you exchange a unwanted kind of thought or emotion for something that is more life-giving and reminds us of the wholeness within. So the last of our themes that I want to just say one sentence in conclusion, that is significance. And what I want to say is that every moment of this precious life is significant in that it gives us another opportunity to know deep within that God's love fills our soul. So it is.
And so did your talk, John. Thank you. It's so nice to feel filled up, doesn't it? Know that it's all just perfect. We have more music. Isn't that true? Lori? Are you still going to play more music for us? The Lori B. Ballard All-Star
Orchestra.
Band. Oh, orchestra. Oh, okay.
Well, this song, man, when I listened to the words of this song, when I heard it by a group that's kind of new within the last few years, called the Highwomen. John, you're just gonna have to figure out what key that is. I'll start. I have enough stuff to worry about. It starts on that E minor chord again. So I'll just keep strumming as I tell the story of the song. This song, The Highwomen, it is the group that wrote it, but it's also the name of this song, The Highwomen. And highwomen are not women that sit around smoking doobies. Okay, I don't really get why they're high women, but they're very cool women, and they're women. To me, this is kind of like what's going on with the balancing of the divine feminine and the divine masculine. They've been so out of whack for so many years, probably 25,000 years or so. But we are coming into that divine, that balance more. And it's going to be a good thing, a darn good thing. And this is a song that kind of reminds me of throughout history how women have been treated, ignored. This is not a bad song, though. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to depress you. It's a good song, okay? So anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Can we have it? Oh, that sounds good. Here we go.
You start.
Okay. I'm going to start for a little bit, and then I'll nod you guys when you come in, okay?
4 bars?
No. No surprise. I was a high woman and a mother from my youth. For my children, I did what I had to do. My family left Honduras when they killed the Sandinistas. We followed the coyote through the dust of Mexico. Every one of them except for me died, and I am still alive. I was a healer. I was gifted as a girl. I laid hands upon the world. Someone saw me sleeping, naked in the noonday. I heard witchcraft in the whispers, and I knew my time had come. The people hung me and the sin got a fill, but I am living still. I was a freedom rider, clearing off the south of Virginia in the spring of '61. When I shot down on that Greyhound, I was bound to Mississippi. My mother asked me why I was worth my life. When the shots rang out, I never heard a sound, and I am still around. And I'll take that ride again and again and again and again and again. Here you go, John. My heart broke for all the world. The preaching was unrighteous for a girl. This summer I was baptized in Miami, Colorado. When
later I heard the house, and I knew that I'd been found. And in my Savior's name I laid my weapons down, and I'm still around. We are the highwaymen, and they sing us stories untold. We carry the sun you can only hold. We are the daughters of the silent generations. Send our hearts to die and hope for the nations. Every time to us is tiny drops of rain, and we will still remain, and we'll come back again and again and again and again and again. I'll take that ride again and again and again and again and again.
Did anyone get depressed? We're okay, right? Okay.
They're all good.
Oh, good.
Gotta put this up for Joe Bull. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is Reverend Joe Bull. Let's give him a hand. Thank you, Joe. This is for giants.
For giants? I didn't know I was a giant.
You're a giant. We need a bit higher.
No, Reverend Lori, I wasn't thinking of women sitting around smoking doobies when you're talking about higher women. So I didn't go there. Oh, John, thank you for that spiritual thought and your your experimental time of reaching your spirituality with God. That connection inside is nothing like it. I remember when I first did have that final connection forward, and it was wonderful. And Reverend Bob, you guys, some of you heard him last week. He is amazing. He's an amazing, amazing man. Quite a scientist as well. We are always evolving. Now, if you didn't know this, I don't want you to be shocked, but it's true. We're always evolving. Everything keeps moving. Nothing stands still on this planet or anywhere in the universe. And I found the definition to be as something gradually evolving from simple to a more complex state or form. Mother Earth, constantly evolving from the beginning of time. We know this. Our history of scientists have told us that she has always evolved. She is vibrating at a high frequency at all the time. And I'll get back to Mother Earth. I want to talk about her some more, but I want to talk about what lives on Mother Earth. First live things and the first man and woman to be on this planet. That all happened about 2 million years ago, give or take. Man showed up on this planet. We have developed into bigger and better people than those before us, for sure. We have evolved naturally into a bigger, better us. Evolution is not a change, but a natural thing enabling us to grow physically, mentally, and hopefully spiritually. In the days of early man, let's say the Stone Age, the Ice Age, these were human beings that lived very simple lives back then. Things were so simple. It was just a matter of them being able to survive their environment. And they were, people in that age of life were about 5 foot to 5.5, 5 and 4 inches tall. Small people, stout people, but tough, because their environment was tough. And we seem to move into getting tougher if the environment is tough around us. They had to adapt to survive. And we have evolved a long way since then, I think. We have changed to a new standard or perspective, a different way of looking at something or life itself. We have shifted from old paradigms to new ones. As we evolve, we are getting bigger physically speaking, better, evolving to a greater us, as I said. As humans, we are evolving constantly then from our ancestors, which is the right order of things that occur. Our ancestors, great-grandfathers and grandmothers and all those people ahead of us, they set the way, they set the pace of life for us to understand life growing up. We learned so much from our ancestors. And it's our job, as it is the generations behind us, to evolve and be better than we are as we move through time. And due to great medicine and research and better housing, education, hopefully people are growing spiritually at the same time in their connections with each other and with God. I think this is how we continue to evolve. Now, Mother Earth is and has changed over time, hasn't she? She's never just sitting idle. Scientists tell us that Earth formed about 4.5 billion years ago, give or take. I don't think she looks any older than 100 million years, but that's when they say she actually showed up, evolving to what she is today, and still changing and still growing. And so are we. We evolve with her. What I really find interesting about the Earth is that she's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour with us on it. On her axis, she's spinning 1,000 miles an hour, and she's hurtling herself around the sun at about 67,000 miles an hour. I find that fascinating. I'm like, how do we stay on this planet with her without flying off? Well, we have gravity, of course, and all the other things, but God created everything perfectly for all of us to live together and survive on this planet. And I closed my eyes thinking about that. I found myself kind of standing in space, and I saw Earth coming at me. And she's hurtling away past me and spinning and on her way. And I could actually hear humans going, whee! Just having a great time flying on with Earth. And it's like, oh my God, that's fabulous.
Joe, that must be what the Schumann resonance is then, huh?
Yes, exactly. Oh gosh. Mother Earth will continue to grow and change as she evolves. You know, she started with just the Earth itself. Then she had volcanoes and earthquakes. This was going on all the time, and this is what built our mountains. This is what built our valleys, and what separated the ground as the seas ran down below to separate land for us. And this continued for years and years and years. And we still have that going on today. Still have earthquakes, still have volcanic activity. So Mama Earth is never stopping what she's doing. And how are we developing to? How are we developing to? Through our spiritual growth with God, hopefully. We've taken classes and workshops. We've done our spiritual practices and our spiritual meditations, our positive prayers with God's Spirit as we grow. Our belief system is strong through our practices. With our unity and divinity, we are in step in this evolutionary process of growth. And we continue to expand our awareness and possibilities. You know, if I watch the news, which I do, I don't usually watch it, I mostly read it, but I do that because I want to be informed of what's going on around me. I just want the news so I know what's happening around me and what we're all kind of hearing and going about. But I don't want the commentaries of the news. I just give me the news and let me decide how I feel about that. Instead of having someone say in the news, oh, well, do you all know that so-and-so is a racist? And so we kind of look at the person and go, he must be a racist because the news said he is. We don't want to get caught up in those kind of opinions, do we? We want to decide for ourselves what's right and wrong. And I don't really want, because I think that separates us. I think it causes dissension and all kinds of negativity. Fear can come at us through news reports, can't it? We start to develop fears. And we know that fear shrinks or diminishes the mind, so we aren't thinking as clearly. That's when we need to get centered. Get centered again and go within and open our minds. And everything gets still again. So we can think clearly and think for ourselves. It's hard to move when you're scared, when you're in fear. These are things that we have all evolved through in our lives. Because remember, for every problem that's out there, there is a solution. For any and all problems, there is a solution. And because we are now a higher order of human being today, I hope we are versus our past, we've learned, we are the reporter of the new evolution. We are the reporter of the new evolution today for ourselves and for the generations behind us, the teens, the 20s, the 30s, people in the 30s. They are going to be bigger and better than we are as they evolve. So spiritual evolution is the idea that the mind or spirit collectively evolves from a simple form, dominated by nature, to a higher form dominated by spirit and divinity. We evolve spiritually then by clearing our minds, by decluttering, as I said, sitting still, being still, reevaluating, and then moving forward. Example of our beliefs: be conscious of and intentional about what you believe. Be conscious of and intentional about what you believe. Expand our minds, explore new ideas and differing beliefs. By the way, to relax, I go outside. I go for a walk. I try to take care of myself. And I learn to let go. To let go of those things that no longer serve me. I'm hoping you do some of these practices as well. God's Spirit has already set the stage for us to develop spiritual evolution. God designed earth, God designed us, God designed everything. And God has never made a mistake. God doesn't make mistakes. Because God, in God's infinite wisdom, created not only the planet and all she gives to us, but also has given us a spiritual evolution connection to be discovered by us. Everything we ever knew or needed to have on this planet has already been here. It's been here all the time. It's just for us to discover so we can get better at what we do in supporting each other all over this planet. How do we maintain or develop our spiritual evolution? By practice, daily taking moments to go within and checking in with ourselves. Spiritual practices that we do. And then gathering together like we do here at the PLC. Gather together to be with each other, to remember that we are one. everywhere, to grow, to learn. Through unity and divinity and intelligence, insight, and with the love and power of God, all is possible. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. All is possible. It's like change your mind, change your life. Yeah. Just as a note, on the third week of the month, we have a healing circle here. And everyone is invited to get that wonderful energy as LJ leads a healing circle. It's really kind of profound. You're certainly welcome to come and enjoy. We're going to do the offertory now. If Barney, you want to come pass the hat, or okay. In this case, the little velvet bag.
So soft.
Yeah, it's so soft, darling. Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. The Positive Living Center is supported by your donations, and that we keep our doors open because of your contributions, and we are incredibly grateful for what you do. Thank you so much.
You're supposed to have music.
And I believe that we have a address for the, oh look at, there's a little midget here. Here she is. That Miss Higginbottom has an address for Zoom. So it's all good. It's all wonderful. We also have a little frog box in the back for practitioners to be able to take your request for prayer treatment. And then Joe Bull, who heads this wonderful prayer team together, we work on that on a regular basis. Thank you, Barney.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. You know, it's often comes in waves, so I'll get 3 or 4 or 5 emails from Joe where there's these needs, someone's having physical issues or someone's having some financial difficulty. And I think that when we believe we're alone, we start to vibrate at a lower frequency. And when we ask, you know, they ask and you'll receive. My ancestors say, ask before we can help you. Then that collective dynamic of prayer, of thoughts towards you, towards the issue, doesn't mean you're weak. It simply means that you're being supported just a little bit more than what you feel. And when we feel that support, things shift immediately. It's not, oh, it'll happen next year. It happens right away. And because we are a frequency, that energy just rises up like the music that we've heard today. Could see a shift in the room when the sound changes. And we're all a part of that dynamic. We're all linked together. So I have never felt like, oh, I can't ask for help, because we are here helping each other all the time. Okay? So don't feel shy about that. Ask. It's right here for you. Let's see here in my little notes. I'm always thinking, aha, one has gone away. So we've talked about prayers and our little prayer box, and the practitioner of the day is that you, Joe?
Yes, that'd be.
Yeah, so Joe Bull will be available if you'd like to have a chat with him about an issue that you have. And maybe we'll have a show of hands of the people that are practitioners. You can ask any one of us to help you. So Sandy and Lori B and LJ and Joe, everyone's here for you. So don't be shy. Our next speaker for next week will be me. I'm going to be talking about, I'm always off that list, and I try really hard to fit it in. So I'm going to be talking about the evolvement, which will really lead to clairvoyance in our gifts. So just warning you. And do we know who's going to be doing our closing? Is it Angie or is it Sandy?
It's up to you.
It's up to me. Well, I'm looking over here. Angie? Would you be closing for us when it's time?
No problem.
Thank you, honey. Let's do our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. The energy of God is me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And we're going to, let's see, one more music moment for us with Lori B. Ballard and the All-Star Band coming up for our last treat. Thank you, guys.
This song is actually going to highlight there.
There, good.
I was correcting or reading through a final paper for one of our students at Emerson, and her title that she came up with was Spiritual Mining, which I thought was really cool. And automatically I kind of started thinking about how when you really do start to wake up, become aware of things, it's like uncovering, almost like hacking away in a gold mine and chipping away all the rough edges and finding that gold or the diamonds or whatever you're looking for. And so this song, Heart of Gold, just popped out at me, so I got it and then came to find out this is Bear's signature song. So this is the one where he's going to be playing harmonica on. Okay. Well, it's in G, so A, B, C. Try C.
G harp?
G harp, is that what you use? Okay, G harp. G, God.
More bass, less volume.
Ready?
Okay. Turn me off.
2, 3, 4.
Thank you. That was the All-Star Band. Woo.
That's hard work.
Wow. I think we're all searching for our heart of gold, don't you? That was great, Bear. Thank you. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, John Stanley.
Thank you all. Appreciate you.
Yay. Oof. I love the energy shifts. It's wonderful. And our beloved Angelo Pizzello will be doing the closing prayer treatment for us today. Angelo?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yes.
Join me in prayer as we go within to that cosmic reality of total love and joy. We're grateful for this eternal presence that we are and call forth divine perfection, unlimited possibilities, and abundance in all that we do. We accept perfect health and divine guidance as we experience all aspects of the human drama. We're grateful for this expression of unconditional love and release it as a truth of our being, knowing that it is so. And say with me loud and clear, and so it is.
And so it is. We go out loud and clear today into our world to do all the things that we love to do on our Sunday, but remembering that we come here because we want to be here, that we want to share that beautiful energy that shifts and changes as we evolve, to hear the speakers with their wisdom, and to know we are growing, we are mining, we're picking that diamond that's really within our center soul, our connection to Great Spirit, to Source, to all that is. Thank you for being here, and come back and join us next week.